Hey everybody, welcome back to Gardens, the Untold Story. We're talking about learn this one secret to organic gardening. But before we get started, Andy, I know someone from your channel is following you and is following what you're doing. And she's saying, I had to catch the replay. My roses are loving the cold brew coffee, cream, and Granny Smith apple molasses. Hope I can give it to my mandarin orange tree. Can she give it to her mandarin oranges, Andy?
If she has a giant mandarin orange tree, I don't think so. But I think the mandarin orange would be like maybe 12 feet at the most, if you're lucky, something like that. You know, that would be a nice size for mandarin orange. And yeah, you can spray that stuff. I put it in a big arborist sprayer. So the key word is arborist sprayer, to spray big trees, you see. And so that is a perfect mixture for any plant. The cold brew coffee is actually, I mean, she didn't mention organic. I think she said, she didn't say it was organic cold brew coffee. You kind of have to say that all the time, because see, if in case I don't see you, good night. Hi. Oh, but some people are showing up. Anyway, so yeah, fine. So I was saying that, you know, cold brew coffee is a concentration of the coffee, right? So if it's a chemically grown, you can have the chemical concentration of that chemical in there. So if it's organically grown, you're going to have the organic concentration of it. It's going to be safe to use. Otherwise, you'll be spraying whatever pesticides, whatever chemicals are spraying on the coffee. And that's why it's important. I learned the hard way to have to say organic cold brew coffee, because everything I think it's in terms of organic when I say milk, coffee, and people, I went and bought some. No, it has to be organic. That's the whole point. And so what it does is that it raises the bricks level really, really fast.
Cool.
It's a wonderful
Silly Lily wanted to mention, we missed you last week, Andy. Understand that you had a power outage in your area because of fires. Glad you're safe, and we are as well. And I understand you guys still have fires down in California. So, guys, there's sometimes we don't come on, either, something like that happens, or one of us gets sick or something. So if we're not on for 1 week, always just come back for the next week. We're always going to be back.
That's right. And it's been one of the weirdest weeks, and I've been here for a long, long time, since '84. I've gone through some heavy fire things, but this 75 miles per hour winds, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And the fire can go from all the way over there to all the way over there. Like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. And it's like, whoa. And it's still burning out. It's called a mountain. And it's a massive amount of areas. And it's self-explanatory about what's going on in our environment, what's going on with the soil. And I look at, we're having a show here about biology, but I look outside, at least people look, if you're in a place where the fire is, you look outside, all you see is ashes and burn and everything. And even there's biology, all kinds of biology, Mother Nature.
Well, we talked about wood smoke and wood vinegar. That's what you're getting from that ash and that smoke. Your trees are actually going to do better because of that.
The only thing about the whole thing is that and let's see if I say it right. The stuff that gets burned down in all these houses are the most toxic things on the planet. Okay, there's you can't really do a better job of getting toxins in the garage and then burn the damn thing down, because you're going to find it's just, so that's not normal. Okay, that is just not normal. It's when you have a fire, you have to say, okay, I have to have my asbestos suit on. I have this little radiation Geiger counter. It says, if you get to this level, it's too late. And I'm looking at it and go, I don't think I want to go at that level, because it's too late. It's so bad. But normally, if a tree burns down or a forest burns down, there's nothing toxic about it. It all comes back in such an amazing way, right? With the carbon, the charcoal, and everything like that. But we're so weird when it comes to what even the junk we burn is toxic, right?
Yeah.
right? That's like, holy cow. So we should go on spitting stuff out that's toxic. And here I am trying to give you a secret to an organic gardening, which is kind of mind-blowing. Or maybe the secret would be, what's an organic gardening secret? Did I say that?
Well, that's what the title of our show is. Learn the one secret to organic gardening. So
No, he said
Hippie wants us to get on track here.
He says organic gardening. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, well, that's Ghetto Hippie. He has a really good sense of humor. And Lily has to go behave every once in a while, but we love him anyway.
So anyway, so we know, and that's actually one of the things that I have in my little presentation is this toxics thing, and I keep thinking, gee, the real secret is to get rid of these toxics things. I mean, I was saying a bunch of other things, but then I'm going, if we get rid of all of these toxic things and stop doing everything that's toxic, wonderful. You got yourself a beautiful, amazing garden, a beautiful property, right? Because it's the toxins that are doing the stuff. Strong winds certainly make fires worse. We have wildfires here last year. Scary. 75 miles per hour winds are awful. But that is it. That's it basically in a nutshell. And I can still do this because I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Can you show there?
I'll bring it up, Andy.
Okay,
there we go.
I think it's working. Oh, maybe it's working. No, there you go. So I wrote down about the secret it makes it to having organic gardening property, and of course I was talking to you about the toxins, and the soil biology and toxins do not go along really well. We talk a lot about soil biology. Of course, it's all about the biology, and biology by its very nature, because microbes, earthworms, fungi, organisms, these things do not like toxins. That's some
reason it kills them.
That's just the whole thing about it. That's actually the whole secret, because part of the secret that I like to express to people that I've learned is the trace minerals. So we have biology and we have trace minerals. So this part of the secret is having a combination of these things, because you need the biology and you need the trace minerals. You can have the trace minerals by itself and no biology is no good. You can have the biology and no trace minerals is no good. See, so that should be understood. I don't think it should be it's a secret really, because you look at it, you go, well, you got to have these things, otherwise you don't have anything, right? Because you need to
have the building blocks and the people that use the building blocks to build the house.
Exactly right. And then that's where we talk when you mentioned the third part, and the third part is the house, and that's the other secret to having an organic garden, is to have a place for the biology to live and work in. And pretty soon, this thing, I have it on automatic because I couldn't figure out how to. Normally, you have a click on button where you can go to the next slide. So anyway,
I'm putting it on pause, Andy, so people have a chance to look at it longer.
Okay, do you have the ability to pause it?
Yeah, I have the ability to pause it.
Superhuman, superhuman, boy. But so far we talked a little bit about the biology. We talk a lot about that. The biology is very important. Toxins are no bueno to the biology. City water, right? It's toxic. They put chemicals to kill the biology in the city water. All right, that's the whole purpose of it. So it doesn't. You put it in the ground. It's not because your Earth's biology. We'll leave you alone. We're just after the city water biology, right? Right? No, it just kills everything. And there are all kinds of toxins we put into the soil from chemical pest control companies. Number one problem, right? They come and inject into your soil this chemical that's going to kill the ant, which the ant, by the way, is part of your soil biology. So if it kills the ants, it's going to kill every other soil biology in there, worms, to microbes, you name it, right? It's not going to say, okay, I'm just going to take out you guys over there. No, and so those are the three things you have to put together, and you definitely have to have a structure. That's why we like to call it soil structure, but it's really the condos where the workers live.
Yeah,
that's basically saying in a very simple way. And the whole reason why we use compost is to improve the soil biology, bring the soil biology from the compost into the soil, and that's the main thing that compost in my opinion, does, right? And that's why I always talk about when you make compost, you actually put it on hold. I can tell it's not moving.
Yeah, I got it on pause. Yeah. Well,
But
Andy,
yeah,
the thing is, we're putting compost on for the biology, but also to supply, habitat or the houses and building blocks. Because in compost, when that material is being broken down and used by the biology, it's the building blocks that's necessary to build more biology. And the compost is so important in that way because it's got so many aspects. It's got nutrients in it, it's got biology in it, and then it's got the molecules that are necessary to build more biology and to build a much healthier plant.
so the initial process of making compost was the process of getting all these building blocks together in a format and infuse them with the biology, so they're already living in the soil structure of the compost, right? The foundation, and then when we make it, we encourage it to work. So the biology is in there doing its thing. It's already doing it. It has the structure, has everything there, and then we taking it and transferring it to the soil. So they can continue to expand and work with. That's the whole key to the compost, and that's why that's a fire engine. Okay, so there's still a fire going over there that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it doesn't get too close and cut your power out again.
Well, they today the power was cut off 3 times already. You moved it.
I let it move. And then, the secret. I'm going to stop the secret.
No, you go ahead. You can bring the secret up.
Okay, I'll let him see it.
I like doing it. Isn't this fun? It's a great way to do a presentation. And so there really isn't any secret, but because the secret is obvious, right? And so you want to really focus on the biology, the living system, right? That's what it takes. But biology by itself needs minerals. It needs the tools to work with, physical structures. You want to put it all together. That's what it's all about. It's like a society of little beings doing stuff, and you really want to have this living organism that's functioning in your soul. That's the secret. Think of it as a group of individual beings. We're doing this thing in the soil. That's their job. Rather than as a non-living thing that you don't have to do anything to. I mean, when I first started doing this, my moment was when I read this organic gardening magazine, The Soil is Alive. I'm going,
most people go, yeah, right. Okay, it's just dirt down there. What are you talking about? It's alive.
I'm going, And I'm going, well, because I've always believed, like as a gardener, when I started gardening, I would put something in the ground, right? And the seed or whatever, it would grow. So to me, it was a process of something in the ground, it's getting together with the seed to make it grow. Something's in the ground that's telling the seed, you can do your thing here, and here we'll feed you, we'll do this for you, we'll do all this stuff. Because the seed is not gonna, the seed doesn't have, it has within it the ability to go out and get stuff, but it has to have the roots, and that's why the roots say, hey, soil, what's happening? And there you go. And the soil starts giving them the materials, the trace minerals, everything they need. Normally, this is the way it is in nature. Normally, seeds fly everywhere. They land on pieces of soil, and the soil goes bingo, and it happens. You don't have to do it. And they have all the trace minerals, everything they need. You don't need to do that. But normally is a key word here, right? Nothing's normal been happening for quite a few years here on the planet Earth. I was going to say thousands of years, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's true too, because we started doing stuff to this planet thousands of years ago, if not more, not tens of thousands of years ago. We made lots of changes, and not necessarily all for the good either.
Well, as soon as we started working up the soil and breaking up the aggregation, we started damaging the structure of the soil and killing biology. And that's a major problem. That's why I tell people, when you're first starting out, sure, till your soil, get it fluffy, mixing your compost. But after that, if you're going to plant into your rows, just cut a slice in it, just like a razor cut. It heals really quickly. And in the soil, if you do that razor cut, spread it out, put your plant in and bring it back together, it's very quickly for the soil and the biology to reconnect in the system, where if it's worked up and all that aggregation is gone, all the housing, all the apartment buildings are broken up and scattered, it takes a long time for the biology to rebuild all of that before it can really start working with your plant.
So in terms of when I first heard about the no-till method, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going, well, okay, so the idea is sound in that Mother Nature doesn't really tilt. She doesn't do that much for tilting. She's just layers. She's a layer person. She's like layering things on top, layer after layer after layer after layer, and everything's just, and all the different parts of the world, they do different kinds of layers, and it's just layering technique.
Yeah.
So, but because of what we have done to the way Mother Nature normally works, that we don't let it layer. So if there's nothing layering, what's there will harden up, and you don't really have soil anymore. You have usually there's some soil on top of it. It's called substrate. It's a subsoil. It's a sublayer where the soil is supposed to be on top, and there's nothing there on top. Just this bottom layer, which is like that. And if that's what we're going to move into, then yeah, we have to break up that bottom layer and allow more organic matter to go in there and let it rebuild that from it. So normally you would bring lots of soil to try to make up for that layer that you didn't have before and blend it in with there. Because if you just sitting on top of this hard, it's called a
hard pan.
Hard pan, right? And nothing will happen for thousands of years. You can put compost on top of it, earthworms, whatever. But when they get down to that hard thing, it's going to take a long time for anything to get down in there. So we want to speed up the process. That's the reason why we do it. But normally Mother Nature would take that back, or maybe not. She'll turn it into a big mountain with rocks, right? You know what I mean? But if we want soil, there's certain conditions have to happen in order for the soil to, oh, there you go. Hi, Michelle. Just 2 weeds. I'm learning. Yeah.
Well, remember, guys, weeds are medicinal plants for the soil.
That's right. I was just talking to one of my customers who said, my boss says, whenever he sees a weed, pull it up. He says, what do you think? And I said, well, weeds are medicinal plants to the soil. I didn't remember it. That's what I came up with. I said, you need to tell him that. And she said, weeds are beneficial, and they actually help to aerate the soil. And it's better to have a weed growing, right, than nothing, and the water runs off. Everything's super dry there. I'm taking care of this place. I was just there today. These people planted stuff right in this clay soil, which is really hard pan. They literally cut out a piece, a hole, and planted right in it. Weeds are smoked. Oh my God. That's a different kind of weed, ghetto hippie. Calm down now. And that's even true of the local weeds. I mean, the Mary Jane weeds, because it technically is a weed and it pulls up minerals. It's very rich in iron, and lots of other things. It depends on what part of the world is growing in. That's kind of interesting too. You know, because every country is in, it would be pulling up stuff that you find in the soil there. It pulls it up.
It's a dynamic accumulator plant.
It's an accumulator plant. Exactly right. Exactly. An accumulator plant it's one of the techniques I've read about, and I understand how it works, because if you know your soil is toxic, you plant these type of plants in, and then when you harvest, you collect them, and you're collecting all the toxins with the plants. Then you got to figure out, you give it the plants to your neighbor. What are you going to do with all these plants that are toxic?
Mother-in-law. Yeah, the mother-in-law. Yeah.
They didn't cover that part up too well. I didn't know what you would do with the toxic stuff, but it's and again, the whole thing that I try to explain to people, and there is and within this little show, there's a secret, right? Which is like, often I think, well, maybe I should just keep the secret and I won't tell anybody about it, you know, and they won't succeed, and they'll keep coming back. Andy, I don't know, what's not working, and I try. Maybe I can make some money that way or something. I don't know. Don't tell them. But the truth of it is, if you really looked at it, you'll see that it's very plain. A good gardener relies on making these things happen. So when I grow something in the soil, I can tell automatically if it's alive, if it's healthy, you know, if I can grow something in it. Like in my backyard right now, it's technically 90% some kind of really weird road construction sand.
Yeah.
Because in the backyard was a little road that went down the ways. There was a road right there. And then when I moved here, I tore up a whole section of what is it? It's artificial grass. Because so when they build the house and they decide to get rid of the road, they put an artificial grass back there. And because there's nothing there, when you dig down into it, you get this white construction sand. It's compacted now.
Yeah,
it's actually very good to do cuttings. You put plants with cuttings in it because it drains so fast. So what I've been doing is increasing the biology slowly but surely. I told you about it, that the soil was hydrophobic.
Yeah.
Right, hydrophobic. That's my little logo that Michelle and company had helped me do.
Is that the last slide, Andy?
Yes, sir. That was it. Just turn her off. I actually, what I could do is, what does it say? Leaf Studio? No, Leaf Studio. I think removed from studio. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, so and I'm in the process of taping it because it's really interesting that it's no biology. Well, you can't say there's no biology. It has a certain kind of biology, but it's not the biology that I really want for my garden. I mean, I can water it all I want to, and it's just totally dry. It does not soak up water. But I've learned that one of the things that helps it suck up water is biology. If I increase the because I've been buying compost and adding it to it, I've learned that it's amazing when I make my liquids, and I've been using it lately with the bamboo. Normally I use bamboo vinegar, but now I use wood vinegar. It's a local version of the bamboo vinegar, even though I believe the bamboo vinegar. So the history of the bamboo vinegar very very simple. The Chinese have been growing bamboo for millions of years, right?
Yeah,
a long time. And when there was a fire, they realized that shortly afterwards, everything that's been burned by the bamboo is burnable charcoal. Everything grows 10 times bigger. And a lot of times you can literally, when the rain comes, it makes its own vinegar. They start collecting that water and using it. And there's a reason for that. And it's been doing it for thousands and thousands of years. And they say this is it is a magical stuff. Now the wood vinegar could be. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like. What was his name? Backyard Bananas. Oh, cute. Banana cute.
Don't know.
Backyard Bananas. Oh.
QLD.
Cute.
Yeah.
Carefully rub that wood vinegar. I know, man. I like the wood vinegar. It's absolutely amazing stuff. Because when I started spraying it on my garden.
Oh, Queensland, Australia is the QLD.
Cool. And what time? It's probably like middle of the day there, huh? Right? 8 hours earlier.
Something. Well, they're on tomorrow already, so
they're already on tomorrow. Holy cow!
Well, yeah, it's Thursday. It'd be Thursday morning there, I think. In
but the wood vinegar is absolutely amazing because as soon as I started spraying it onto this soil, it started holding water almost right away. It changed the actual structure of the water. It said, "No, I like water now." And then lunchtime. Cool. Yeah, it's about right. Yeah, almost 8 hours, or is it 12? It's like 12 hours.
Well, lunchtime would be another 3 hours from now. So we're looking 12, 13, 15, 14 and a half, 15 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway, your backyard did you actually break up that subsoil where they had the road first and start adding in, or are you just putting on top, Andy?
Well, breaking it up, see, the soil is not really bad because it drains. Roots can go down in there as long as I get the pH down, because the pH is a little high. But no, I didn't dig down into it. I went up. I dig down into the initial, maybe it's just a little bit to break out the surface tension, right? I dug down maybe a shovel's worth, turned it over. Because what's the point digging down there real deep? Because I would have to. If I was young, I would dig down, take it out, throw a pile of it next to it, right? Dig it down, maybe at my height, 6 feet. I would have this giant pile of this mixture, and then I would compost, whatever I have, rocks, and throw them all together and dump it all back in again.
Well, yeah, because then you're just adding the nutrients back in, and you're lofting the soil so that you can use it. And if it's got good drainage, it's going to have a lot of sand. And that's one of the main components. People don't understand the necessity of a sand, and not beach sand, but a good quality sand that's not white, because the white sand has been stripped.
Yeah,
But
and
that sand is so necessary because there's so many available nutrients in that sand at a molecular level.
this stuff was also compacted. Remember, they put the road there. So
Yeah,
they
well, Michelle's saying impossible to break up.
right, they beat on it to really compact it, and so it's made with lots of little pieces of rock. It's not just sand. It's like, yeah, it's a very coarse sand, little pebbles. That's why it's very good for root cuttings. You take a root. That's what I'm doing now. I have a tobacco. I have persimmon, hibiscus. These are all from a place I was gardening for many years. And so I do a cutting and stick it in the sand,
Cool.
and then use my liquid to it, and it actually grows the roots. You can take it out and replant it. But so I tried to start digging into it, but it's really too hard to really dig into it. So that's, the old saying, if you can't go down, you go up. So I said, okay. And so I'm trying to go up. My idea was to make these raised beds, but I haven't been able to physically put the raised beds together. Normally I would build them together and then go up 3 feet, say 24 inches, and then 12 inches. Go down as far as you can, because if you break up the soil, your roots will go deeper. One lettuce will go 12, the root of a lettuce will go 12 feet, 12 feet into the ground, one root of the lettuce. And so you want it to go down as deep as possible. But I think that in this case, I'm not going to, down the road, what will happen, if the longer I stay here, I tend to remodel. So I've already done a couple of remodeling. So down the road, it just depends on money, but you're not allowed to go into the countryside and get rocks anymore, which is kind of ridiculous, because you'll go and get the rocks put together. So I thought about maybe I go to the beach and get bamboo, put that together. I just got to figure out a way to build a raised bed, and then I'm going to go down, put the gopher wire in there, normally what I would do is either rocks and down there, put rocks as a wall, because it makes a nice drainage. And what I've done before, we get wine bottles, put wine bottles down as the base and wine bottles as the wall. Mm-hmm. You build up as you go, little wine bottles. You just lay them down, and you rotate with it, right? The top is, and they fit in, that way. You have to, right? You got two bottles. They both would fit, right? Flip it like that. So I did that for, and then the top, and the top layer. What I did was I left all the bottles sitting on top, so you can actually pour water into each one of those. And so what it does is that it makes for a nice raised bed. Mm-hmm. So down the road, anything can happen, because I like to change it. But to me, as I get older, it's very simple to do a raised bed right in the ground. Keep adding compost to it. Keep working with it. It's getting better and better and better. My biggest problem is gophers that seem to like everything I'm growing. They hate the bamboo vinegar. They say, "Oh my God, what is this?" And they run away. Literally, because I've been spraying the bamboo vinegar on everything. The gopher tunnel, spray it in there with the gopher tunnel. If you haven't sprayed the wood, I keep saying bamboo, but the wood vinegar, it smells like charcoal. It smells like barbecue. Yeah. You have that barbecue smell. Well, they don't like
burnt wood, Andy.
and they do not like that. So I use it on the. I don't use it on these creatures. I was going to say squirrels and other creatures. Basically, what I do is I spray it around the garden that I don't want them to be in. I feed the squirrels in another section of the garden. Nothing on this side has the wood vinegar, so they go, okay, we'll stay on that side, And so,
okay, now Michelle and guys, in case you don't know, Michelle is a host on Andy's channel with him. Once in a while, they do a video together. But she's saying Andy has been able to grow herbs, flowers, and some veggies on this old road.
That's right, and thank you, Michelle. And it's not that hard to do. But it's very difficult when you stick seeds in and seeds are going, I'm not coming up in this. No way. So I decided to plant what really wants to grow. And that these are medicinal herbs. Oregano takes off like crazy. Basil wants to go nuts. And there's other things. The arugula doesn't want to stop growing. So I'm growing. I decided I just planted all these medicinal herbs. Nothing will eat them. And I also started them in little trays because I think that's the key to the gophers is to plant amongst the medicinal herbs, my regular vegetables. The gophers have to pick out which one of these am I going to eat, because they don't eat arugula too well. See, they don't eat spearmint. They don't go through any of those medicinal herbs, chamomile. I mean, and they're very great to have, all these herbs, because you can eat them. The other thing that I would do once I get the herbs growing is to make a tea from it. You can make a tea from peppermint, make a tea from oregano and basil, and spray it. You can spray on your vegetables.
Andy, I know that we've had a few shows with on the Soil Matters with Leighton, where we talk about the different particle size, and you just mentioned one of the keys is that the tea makes a dissolved organic material, and the smaller the size, the easier it is for the biology to grab that and use it, whether you're drinking that medicinal tea and you're saying medicinal herbs, and that's what weeds are, Andy. Those are medicinal herbs for the soil, and it works for us too, because we're made of the same dang stuff.
Exactly right. Because I noticed that the weeds are the things that the gophers leave alone. The gophers are, I'm not touching that. And these plants that grow there, they do fine. They seem to like it. And I'm going, well, you obviously like that. And so I've had friends come here. Oh, I'm going to help you pull out your weeds. Oh, you need to pull out your weeds. I'm going, you touch those weeds, and I'm not. They're not weeds. And so I constantly have my next door neighbor who grew up here. He says, you got a lot of weeds. I said, these aren't weeds. They're growing in the soil. They're really helping to hold the water, to break the surface tension, all that stuff. And so I got a mixture of all kinds of things growing back there, and they produce stuff. And that's part of the secret too. Is in nature, Mother Nature does not just have one particular type of plant growing. It doesn't grow in a straight line for starters. Try to find something Mother Nature does in a straight line. It doesn't work that way. So that's why I learned from experience, and these shows that I do, they try to teach you what I've learned in a lifetime, and it's just basically one show, because that's what it comes down to. I kind of like this. Filter it out for you. Look, I've gone through all this stuff for all the time, and this is what it turns out to be. And in your case is really cool because I was talking about the biology since I was 7, but I never said it's all about the biology until I came here and heard you say it's all about the biology. And going, well,
it makes so much sense.
Well, it is all about the biology. I would say, yeah. Now, citronella is an easy one to grow. It smells great. Citronella, pennyroyal. There are so many. And we will start again our podcast again soon. She moved to Ojai. Yeah, there she is. Hey, baby girl. The oak trees are dying left and right. People don't seem to understand that they are causing all this havoc. They're causing it to happen because they're just getting in the way of Mother Earth, the way she normally does things. And we're a very weird bunch of people. We just create toxins left and right. Seriously, we're swimming in a bunch of toxins, and people are dying left and right. The trees are dying. Animals are dying. We've killed more. In the old days, it'd be like the Indians. We would go out and shoot birds, right, with arrows. Now that we run over them,
they get stuck in the grill. Yeah.
We run over hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of birds, creatures on the road. We kill them in the air whether we're using windmills, those big giant blades that just chop them right up, right? Or we're using some kind of incredible thing like they definitely will get them, and we're very good at just destroying anything that moves and leaving behind a trail of toxins and ashes. And then we have this show called all about the biology, and we're lucky we're not being shot at or something, because people are going, what are you people talking about? How can you have biology in this? Like, if you look at the space movies where they go out, there's nothing out there. You go to another planet, they're in the, well, this is certainly a nice place to live, George. And that's what it comes down to. We have this very unique opportunity here, but we're not really taking advantage of it. We're really not paying attention. And we need to get back to nature, but what will happen is that Mother Nature will move on. Mother
Yeah.
Nature will move on. One day there could be these creatures sitting around going, "Hey, do you remember when these things? What were they called? I don't remember. I said,
Homo sapien, I think. Yeah.
something like that." And that's what's going to happen. And this whole life thing, there's no guarantee that Mother Nature goes, "Hey, let's duplicate all these creatures all over again."
Mm-hmm.
You think she's going to say, "Hey, let's get some monkeys together. Let's get some dinosaurs. Hey, look, I got a whole list of things. I keep track of everything I did. Let's go back and do that again." No, they can say, "Okay, let's start over." And they build who knows what is going to end up coming from here. Well, we could be sitting here, two kinds of weird creatures, right? You know what I mean? I was reading somewhere about silicon-based life as opposed to carbon-based life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's lots of silicon-based life forms on our planet,
Yeah,
but those exactly are the same because they all to grow, they need cell division. Anything that needs cell division needs biology, but there's biology specific to silica-based life forms.
right. Of course, because and that's a good point too, because you're on whatever planet you're on, it's all about the biology on that planet. And
Yeah.
what type of biology it is that's what you need to learn or understand, because that's the difference. I just know about this biology on this planet, and that's what really counts for us, because we're living on this planet and we're all part of the biology of this planet. It's not like we're separate, So
Exactly.
we are the biology, and so
Yeah.
whatever happens to the finger happens to the body. So, and that's the problem. See, so we're not even the finger. We're like a toe, one
Yeah.
of the toes, And
So
so
David had a question for us, Andy. Um, I'm late decomposting granite in clay soil. I like using it for the landscaping. Is it okay in the garden?
yes, decomposed granite is excellent to use. It's actually
Mhm.
very interesting that you would say that, because it's a very highly paramagnetic properties,
Yeah.
and it's used in Egypt, and it's used in sacred sites for many reasons. And so it's a great transmitter of specific types of energies. You can think of it
Mhm.
as that they build the pyramid, they want to transmit certain types of energies. When they
Yeah.
build any kind of these statues and structures and instruments, they use this particular type of rock. And there's throughout the world, they're different, slightly different, but the essence is how they were made and how they are infused with paramagnetic energy. So if you was to crush it and use it in your garden, you're enhancing the ability of your garden to be in tune with the cosmic energy, whatever it is you want to call it, right? Because
A lot of people now are calling it the redox potential. That's the new terminology for it, and it's the positive and negative energy and how it flows. They're actually finding out there's the equipment now to really start delving into that. But mainly, Andy, people go, "Huh? That's all woohoo stuff. There's nothing to that." But now we're really, literally starting to find out scientifically that this stuff really does have an amazing effect on our plants. That's why we talk about energy, frequency, vibration. It all works together with the biology.
I'm an old wizard, man. That's just an old wizard. This stuff is really cool, because there's nothing fairly new about this. It's not new. Tesla knew about this stuff. Tesla
Yeah.
knew that if he was to transmit, how do you think his base for? So the Tesla coil that he makes, a Tesla coil, he has a giant.
Yeah.
He made two giant towers. Okay, giant towers are like taller than the Empire State Building. Big towers. Okay, their base, the foundation of their base is underground. It's granite. It's like a half a ball shape, and the shape it determines. And what it does, and underneath that, there's water. So he made a little like a giant pool of water, which is the same basis when the pyramids. If you look at the pyramids, you find a way that you end up underground river. There's an underground river flowing underneath the pyramid, underneath the Sphinx. This is all part of their energy. Because really, the system over there was based on how they were to transmit energy to power their whole city. They powered the
Yeah.
whole city using this particular form of energy, and you find it throughout the world that they would power running this type of energy, right? And so a lot of them are really basically, and I'm not going to get off the subject, but I'm following through energy, is that their spaceships run on this stuff. So it's basically a port where they park their ships, charge up their fuel, charge it up, because that's the way their energies would work. So using the granite, it's really very cool because you're using paramagnetic energies. You blend it in with your soil, blend it in with your compost. It literally attracts all this energy that the biology then goes, whoa, and they start radiating with it. We as a biological form, we pick up this energy. Our whole body, everything. Your skin is the largest sense organ you have. The skin is a light organ. It's sensitive to light. People always think that the cones of our eyes are light. They're not. They're not light sensitive. They're energy sensitive. We have cones all throughout our body. If you know what a cone is, just a round thing with a little pole on it, right? A cone.
Yeah.
So there's no one connection. It's all cones, and energy flows through it.
Mm-hmm. That
is really cool. And it's the same thing with the soil. The same thing with plants. Same thing with the trees. Trees are basically antennas for the energy. So remember, we talked about cosmic energy once. And what do trees do? They capture the cosmic rays. And how does it capture the cosmic rays? Because the cosmic rays shoot through the earth, right? And when it shoots through this tree, and the tree has the trace metals, and the trace metals are the ones that absorb the energy. So you have all these trace metals, 96 different trace metals. That means there are 96 different energies, 96 different types of energy that we use. Okay, gold is particular.
And just to point out, we're talking about water and energy, and that's one of the things that Gerald Pollock, who wrote The Fourth Phase of Water, who's actually going to be on again, guys, in the new year with Leighton, but he talks about how they found that the energy being pulsed in the water that is forming this tube that's moving material back and forth through it, and there's an energy field that's created, and that's why they're calling it EZ water, because of this electrical force that he's been able to find and document. So this stuff is all being proven out. A lot of it, they used to say, oh, that's all conspiracy theory. Well, gosh darn it, I've had to find so many new conspiracy theories now because all the old ones have come true.
Let me tell you something interesting too. So I started doing this long time ago. It was all at the same time. It's just the way somehow everything happened at the same time, because all I have to do with energy transmissions. I got into learning about how we when we what we're here on this planet, what we do in our bodies is basically we're energy beings, and we take these cosmic rays that shoot through the earth, and there's a system set up for us to be able to absorb that particular energy for our bodies and for our physical well-beings for us to use, because we know that our bodies is just one aspect of ourselves, not the whole thing. And the whole thing is more of an energy being than a physical being any day. And this energy being relies on this particular type of energy. Our consciousness is a particular type of energy field. It's a particular interesting type, because I talked a long time ago about the formula for the universe. Remember we talked about that?
Fractals?
Yeah, right, exactly. You remember, right. So
I remember a lot of different crazy stuff, Andy.
So the fractal is and if you talk to a mathematician, he'll tell you, the universe is math. Einstein was saying this is all math. I've seen him. I heard him say that a lot of times. You have movies of him. He'll say it's all math. Equal MC squared. He was actually working on the when he died on the formula for the soul, SOUL, because he understands the soul. It's also a certain frequency. Soul, consciousness, right? Energy. Plants have consciousness, trees have consciousness, rocks have consciousness. It's the consciousness, if you think of it differently, right? It's a way of energy. It's a form of energy. So when we talk about granite, we're also talking about energy accumulators. So these are energy accumulators that Mother Nature has put on the planet for us. It's not like we didn't build this, right?
Well, a tree, a leaf, a weed, anything that's gathering sunlight is an energy accumulator, much better than the photosynthetic panels that we're putting on our roofs. The plants have been doing this for decades, and that energy is transmitted into the soil and feeds the life in the soil. But Ghetto Happy had a kind of a question here. Are these molecular structures struck by this electromagnetic pulse vibrating in such a way to construct what we see as reality?
Let me put it to you in a simple way, Ghetto. Yes. The information is data. Data. You think of it in terms of data. Everything's form of data. Data. D-A-T-A. Data. The water has the ability of holding data. Look at a computer, a hard drive, stores data. You can look at that and go, yeah, it's data. And you understand that the computer is also math. The whole thing is math. The matrix is math. It's all data. And so what's cool about nature and water is that a long time ago, and this doesn't happen by accident, all these things have to be constructed, have to be put together. That's why you're almost talking about God, right? Who did this? You know, but the way it works is that the energy that we are as human beings live in, we are actually that energy. Like the fractal is a formula that tells you how all this energy works. It's a law, right? Like a law of physics, you know, it's a law of nature. It tells you how this energy works, how they correlate, and they remember we talked a long time ago how they're interconnected. It's like giant wheels all intertwined together. They all do things together. So the frequencies are laid down in a certain way. So it's a mathematical. If you're a mathematical person, you will go, wow, that and this and this and that. Because it follows a certain pattern. That's what the formula is all about. This guy wrote a formula down because he saw it. It's called Mandeville. He saw the thing. Being a math magician, he came up with this formula that explains that. And that formula is the key to the whole structure of the universe. It's really cool. And the fractal, remember we talked about the fractal, how the fractal has one point of calm and peace. The rest of it is chaos, right? The rest of it is chaos. And that's exactly what we're living in chaos, but there's this one place of peace. And that's where we're at right now. I think that's what the earth is.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is we see colors as colors, but it's actually a frequency and a vibration. But Backyard Banana here, yes, it's all numbers, geometric patterns, and shapes of vibration.
That's right.
And the thing is, we see things like I'm looking at Andy here. Okay, Andy, I see as white hair, glasses, etc. But that's a representation of light that we're seeing, just like our LED or TVs are points of light showing in different colors that make up what you see right now on the screen. It's all refracted light. So if you think about that really deeply as refracted light, everything you see around you that becomes your reality is refracted light, which is frequency and vibration. That's how our minds relate everything. That's why they say plants now have more senses than we do. If you walk into your garden in a yellow shirt, your plants know you're wearing a yellow shirt because it sees that frequency and that vibration.
Not just plants, but insects. Humans
Everything,
too.
yeah.
We all have that capability. Some of us, let's just do it naturally. They don't have to be taught. You know, that's what plants are. Horses, trees, they all have a certain bees, insects. All these insects have the capability of seeing sound and hearing color. That's part of their survival. Usually, certain colors mean certain types of food. So all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to have there's one more layer that I should mention is basically holograms, and that's what we someday I'll talk to you about holograms, because holograms are basically the reality that we live in now. This is a hologram. This whole structure that we live in is a hologram. You will learn how, and it's all related to frequency and energy, how they're intertwined with each other. And so, in terms of gardening, getting back to gardening, it's really interesting if you start learning that the system is there already. All you have to do is learn how to use it. When you start playing at certain notes, not only does the tree start buzzing and doing its thing, but the birds and the bees and the flower, all those things, they start vibrating at that same frequency. And it's amazing the way it works. Take away the human element and everything starts singing. Everything starts vibrating at the same frequency. All the water, the ocean, and there's no evil. There's nothing other than this friendly vibration. Everybody's happy and doing their thing, chopping wood and carry water. And that's and so we're very interesting that we can create all these alternate realities that have nothing to do with the real reality. And someday this is all going to come crumbling down, and we're going to go, uh-oh, right? Uh-oh.
Oh, damn, I wish I had changed my ways before.
Yeah, so that's it. So this is kind of like Cosmic Gardening 101.
Mm-hmm.
See how
and the energy that we put out is, and I'm going to be, I have to have a conversation with Layden on energy, frequency, and vibration and intention, because when you go into your garden and you're mad and you're angry and you're putting out that energy, your plants feel that. Where if you go into your garden with intention of love and hope, it's totally different. Now, Scotty, you got to send me an email, because I think you won Andy's book last week and you haven't reached out to me yet. It's all about the biology at gmail.com if you want to get your copy of Andy's book. So we should probably do a giveaway. Andy, are you up for a giveaway today?
I'm glad you brought that up. Everybody that won a book from me, I haven't sent it out yet.
Oh, Andy, get off your butt, brother.
I haven't sent it out. I got the email, man. Look, what happened, I have no excuse, except I got 38,000 email one day and it blew my everything away, and I don't know what happened to the emails that you sent me, because I have to go look for them, and I go, oh gee, so I'll figure it out, because my email got sold. I got sold in the black market. I got 38,480 emails, and they all sold go into the same place. I'm going, no, where was that? So I'm learning how to do a search, but you have some different emails. I don't think you sent stuff to me in the same email.
It's either under it's probably under It's All About the Biology. So
I didn't look for that.
Yeah,
I didn't look for that. I kept looking for Ken. There's lots of Kens.
So do you want to do a giveaway, Andy?
Sure. Just send it to me again. You have the list anyway. You can just send me a new list.
Well, no, I'm saying another giveaway today.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that do that one and include everybody else in it too. So I have an updated list, and I'll send it. Make sure you have your phone number, because Amazon will not send it to you if you don't have a phone number. That's a problem I'm having lately. I need a phone number that goes with it, with the address. So do it.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do on my end with getting everything back out, because I've sent everything to you, Andy, already. But
yeah, I should have it.
Hashtag compost. Okay, I'm gonna add share screen, entire screen, get the other screen. There we go. So guys, let's see, start collecting. So hashtag compost. Why didn't it come up? Okay, did I louse up here?
Yeah, you did.
Up. Yeah, because I thought I had it up, but there we go. There we go. Compost. Okay, Scotty, you've already won, brother. You can't win 2 books. So if Scotty wins, we're gonna redraw, because Scotty's already won a copy of the book.
He didn't think we would remember. He didn't think.
Yeah. Well, he was just saying that he's got to send out an email to get his copy, but oh yeah, that he's all laugh. Yeah. Oh yeah, God's desire for me, right on. So come on, guys, let's get some more names into this. David, Rory, right on. We got 26 people watching on YouTube right now, guys. So we should have 26 people. Wow. Except for Silly Lily shouldn't be on there, but we'll give a couple of minutes. We'll draw right close to the end of the show. So you guys have a few minutes left, but get hashtag compost so you can get entered in. We'll give away Andy's book. And for the guys on Monday's show with Layden on the Soil Matters, we're having to suspend the contest for right now. Perky is the man that runs the back end of that for the computer chorus. And when Florida got hit with those storms, he lost his house, his car. He's basically lost everything. So it's going to be a while before he gets set back up and gets everything back running for putting his website back together. So you'll have to forgive us, guys. As soon as we get that, or he gets that back up, we'll let everybody know, and we'll start giving giveaways on Monday again. But other than that, Andy, so we started the secret, the one secret. So what is the one true secret of healthy plants? Not healthy bodies or healthy animals, but healthy plants. What's the one key secret that you want to give to people right now?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, I'm heartbroken, Andy.
I'm like, well, it's really very simple. The key is to provide two things: the biology and the trace minerals. Put them together.
You said one. There's supposed to be one secret.
It's one secret.
Oh, no,
you get two. No, that's one. The secret is you want the biology to marry with the minerals. You can't do the biology by itself or minerals by itself. The secret is to do both together. Because people think, and I've been told that biology is all you need. I go, okay, so fine, do that. Do it that way, and let's see what happens. Because the trace minerals we're trace mineral deficiency. We need to have more trace minerals brought back into the picture. And same thing with the biology. You need to bring them both. Normally, the biology takes care of the trace minerals, right? But that takes thousands of years to get the system in place.
Well, the thing is, and that's why I was talking about sand earlier, because it's got the bulk of the trace minerals in the sand. But if you don't have the biology to mine the sand, or you keep breaking it all up and killing all the biology, it can't do its job. But yeah, when you're starting out, and especially, for new gardeners, it's much easier to start out with adding in all the trace minerals with the biology. Guys, if you go to build a house and you have all the laborers there, but you have no building materials, you ain't gonna get no house, guy.
You get a lot of drunk laborers. They'll be happy, but you won't have a very strong house. Or maybe they'll use some cheap material.
Yeah, 2x2s instead of 2x6s.
And that's what will happen. And I got this from experience over and over and over again. Doesn't matter the disease that the tree has. Doesn't matter the pest that the tree has or the plant or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You try to get all the trace minerals you get your little hands on, because it's very hard to do. Mother Nature can only produce. There's only some that can be produced by Mother Nature, and that's the 5. There's 96, or there's 5 of them that only Mother Nature can put together for you, no matter what kind of chemist you are. So you can get all the other trace minerals together. That's why I like C90, SEA90. It's got 90 trace minerals. And sea salt, like the Celtic sea salt, it's got 72 trace minerals. So I like C90 because it has a little bit more trace mineral. The more trace minerals, the better. And you hook that together with any biology you get your hands on. But from experience, you want to have certain types of animal biology to be more effective. I love the earthworm biology. The fish biology, for example, is very, very good as well. Right, and I also like the variety of other biology that you can, towards the trace minerals you can get, like rock dust and stuff like that, because you get, there's when you're using rock dust, you have to be, you can kill the biology if you give them just rock dust, right? If I put rock dust, too much rock dust in the worm farm, it kills them. Too much rock dust in the water and spray, it kills the earth soil biology. Same thing with salt, the sea salt, too much of that. So you have to go with trace minerals, tiny amounts on a little bit of basis.
It's a trace of them, yes.
Right, so you have to go a tiny amount. So people often use it, but you have to be careful how you use it. You want a small little amount with the biology, and let the biology decide what to do. People tend to say, good, a lot is better, and it's not. You have to, so that's why I prefer now to use the C90, because I only have to use a little bit of it rather than a lot of different types of rock dust, because I would buy 12 different kinds of rock dust. But rock dust is still very good if you're making compost. Don't be a moron, right? Exactly. So
less
rock
is more. It's all about balance, right, Andy? Like whether it's our bodies or the soil, we need a balance of nutrition. We need a balance of biology. And if you get outside of those balances, that's when you have serious problems.
balance is a good way to do it, say it, because it's really basically it's just that. When you have to you have to learn how to use a small amount. And so balance, I like the word balance better, because basically it doesn't mean you're doing too much and not doing enough, too little. You want to give it just the right amount for the and then you let the biology do the work.
Yeah, that's why it's best. I personally like to put it into my compost, like whether it's green sand, rock dust, basalt, alfalfa, etc. I want to put that into my compost, let it compost for at least the 30 days for the biology to break it all out and use it, and then it's made available for the biology that grows the plant. That's one of the keys. But anyway, Andy, we're at an hour and 1 minute, so we better run this contest.
Yeah. Do it.
And actually, Michelle, since you're on, put in hashtag compost. I want to make sure that anybody on Andy's, because guys, Andy runs this show on his channel at the same time. So Michelle, if you can put in hashtag compost, we've got 6 people right now showing. So if you can do that quickly, Michelle, if you're listening, put in hashtag compost. I want to see if it flips to 7. I want to see if people can enter from Andy's channel. So that was Ghetto Hippie. So yeah, Michelle, come on, Michelle. We're waiting, Michelle.
I think we worked on a way that people can do it.
Yeah, it's Michelle, thank you. And now it says 7, so Michelle's got her entry in. So anybody that's on Andy's channel, you also can enter these contests and it will pick it up and it'll work. But we're going to run the draw now, I think. Here we go. Drum roll, slowing down. Here we go. Goddess Desire for me.
Oh, great.
Mr. Styles Grow, you didn't get in on time. Sorry, man. You'll have to come next week to get in. So God's Desire for me, young lady, if you can send me an email.
Number 2.
It's all about the biology, and the email's actually in the description on YouTube. It's all about the biology at gmail.com, and then I'll link you up with Andy. And remember, email and phone number in the email, and I'll send that to Andy. And eventually, Andy will get off his butt and send you guys all his book. So, guys, I think that's going to be pretty much it. Unless, Andy, you got anything else to say? Is it a full moon again? Is it a full moon?
Look at the hair, man. It's the seaweed's making my hair grow. I'm getting darker.
Well, if you start shooting basketball, we're really in trouble, okay?
Oh boy. See you guys later next week. Bye now.
Okay, guys. And remember, on Monday, we've got Tim Hammond. You'll find out on Monday, but it's going to be a great show on Monday. More health and nutrition based than biology and soil based. But I think you guys are going to love it, because our health is as much about the biology as our plants and animal health. So, guys, peace out. We will see you on Monday.